Hey everyone, happy President's Day. And we're back. I hope everybody's having an amazing afternoon. And we had some great conversation this morning about, me and Kiara had started yesterday. So I wanted to continue it today about Black buying power and, the trillions of dollars we spend only for us to have such an amazingly incredible gap in our own wealth. And it doesn't make sense that if we have, uh, the buying power equivalent to most domestic products, then why is it that we don't have the money ourselves? And so I wanted to continue that conversation today with Kiara as we discuss, do we give Black businesses a harder time, even our own businesses? Or do we connect and collaborate? And for those of you who are ready to connect and collaborate, I want you to go to bit.ly/ I got swag 2022. We have a lot of events going on this year where you're going to have the opportunity to market your product and get your product in front of our audience of thousands. But also, we have a masterclass on Monday, about a serious masterclass about building generational wealth, that not only do I want you committed to be there, but hey, Gina Love, hey, Diane, hey, Verlin, but I want you committed to bring somebody like it was the mall, because we're at situation critical when it comes to saving ourselves and our children as far as generational wealth. And the only thing that is going to save us is knowledge and action. Knowledge is not enough. Action is not enough. We need them both. So with that being said, I'm gonna go ahead. Kiara, I know that you are a zealot for this type of conversation. I know you know hoes barred. So guys, while you're registering at dollarsprofitsandwealth.com, we start at 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. It is a free masterclass, but you're gonna pay the price if you miss it. But Kiara, I just want to kick it over to you and just let you start to delve into some of that.
Coach, it's so interesting to me because I saw a meme a few months ago. I wish I was actually looking for it recently so I can repost it. That said that systematic racism is the reason that we think Kanye and Jay-Z are a part of the Illuminati, but Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk are hard workers, right? And it is so apparent to me as a Black business owner for the past 5 years full time. And prior to that, I worked with so many Black business owners. So, really, for my entire adult career, it's so apparent to me that when we hear the term Black business, we automatically start to draw some conclusions about how we're going to do business with them, what our expectations are, for price, for experience. And, I can count 1,000 times where I have seen discussions about how Black business owners need to improve their customer service, or how Black business owners need to work on this or fix that, and Black business owners, the prices be too high, and and it's just so troubling to me. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with the brand Telfar, but Telfar is he makes purses. And for a long time, I want to say I think they start about $125, and then they go up to like $250 or something like that. So he's been getting a lot of recognition, a lot of success. and he released a new design, and the new design is about $500. And there are conversations all over social media about why is he raising the price. Y'all never asked how much do it cost to make the bag. Y'all don't know, he could be raising the price because the cost of producing the bag is going up, the same way Chanel and Louis Vuitton just told y'all they was finna raise the price. But we don't push back. You're on mute, coach. I can't hear you.
We need to roll that back real quick. Because we ain't never asked Louis
Ever.
how much it costs to make his bag. And his bags are way. You can't even get a wallet for 500. Much less a bag. And we've never asked Louis Vuitton how much does it cost to make his bag. We never asked Bentley or Rolls Royce how much does it cost to make their cars. And that's what the article talked about, is how we incessantly consume everybody else's stuff, even down to, let me see if I can find this part. He talked about that black buying power is tremendously reliable, meaning they know we're going to buy this foolishness. We're more likely to be influenced by advertising. We also like to spend lavishly at high-end department stores, with 63% of Black folks saying in a survey that they like to buy from Saks Fifth Avenue, 45% from Neiman Marcus, and 24% from Bloomingdale's. And said that we the ones in the store spending our money. More than 52% of African Americans find in-store shopping relaxing, as compared to 26% of the population. I know this is not a conversation. You can look at the numbers and see, don't nobody want to have this conversation, but I tell you this. What happens when it's your business?
Well, see, that's what people don't understand, coach, is that, how you treat somebody else's business, it comes back to you. Right? So we have to be very mindful of that. It's often the reason why, people are like, I can't get customers that won't pay me, right? Because you don't want to pay nobody else. You and everybody else DM asking for a discount. Don't nobody want to buy my stuff because you and everybody else think asking, can you get a hookup? Can you get a deal? But you will go and spend for these brands. And so we really need to, I was just having a conversation with one of the board members at the local NAACP, and he was talking about the civil rights movement. And one of the things that I have felt for years is that while integration and equal rights is very, very important, it has been often to the detriment of our own stuff, of our own schools, of our own Black Wall Streets, of our own Black banks, because African Americans as a culture are very, very pressed to prove that their dollar is as green as everybody else's. Koreans,
but we need to prove it to ourselves first.
They don't feel, I was getting ready to say that, they don't feel a need to go out into other people communities and other people establishments and prove that they are equal. In fact, they prefer to have Chinatowns in almost every major city. They prefer to have the Asian American Chamber of Commerce in almost every city because they want to protect their own best interests.
And when you do see them in our community, I look, y'all gonna be mad at me coming up because everything ain't always roses. And there's some things that just need to be said, especially in our people. And thank you, Verlin, for sharing. But the bottom line is, if you want your piece of generational wealth, you got to sow some seeds in Black businesses in your community. And I don't think that exonerates us from having a good product. But what I will say is when I struggle, because I will struggle, because nobody's business is perfect. Give me the same grace you give Amazon when they stopped taking phone calls during the pandemic. It was banks that stopped taking phone calls. You holding my money.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And we got to stop running these businesses the riot act, calling ourselves going out loud on social media and embarrassing these businesses, but you don't do it to these multi-billion dollar. Matter of fact, Walmart would keep you in line for an hour and not apologize.
And not even say sorry for your wait. Not even tell y'all, you know what, here's a Walmart. I dare you go to Walmart, ask them for a discount on anything. Can I get 10% off? Can I get, they gonna say we got everyday low prices.
Yeah. And you better hope the little clerk don't overcharge you.
So it's just frustrating sometimes because I think I 100% agree with you, Coach, that it's like we hold Black business owners to this very high standard of quality, but we want them to discount it for us, make it cheaper, faster, and better, but also be amazing, be the best of the best. And I think, a lot of times when we're doing business with small businesses, whether they're Black or white or any other race for that matter, what you don't understand is that they incur higher costs, especially if it's a product, because they are often smaller. You and I had a conversation about something that you were ordering, and you was like, it cost me $3 to order 500 of them, and then it cost me 99 cents to order 1,000 of them. So I was going to go ahead and increase the quantity of how many I ordered because it's literally almost the same price. But a lot of times what we don't realize is that small businesses are incapable of getting such large quantities, right? They can't order in high numbers, and they can't create the systems that Amazon, they can't deliver it to you in 2 days or less because they don't have airplanes and 50 million delivery trucks all over the country. They're responsible for the delivery process. They're responsible for the production. And so I definitely agree that we have to learn how to support small businesses the right way. And I think that right way comes from us just understanding, why am I doing this? It's bigger than getting a product or service. It's bigger than whatever the end result is. And it really has to be about making an economic impact in our communities. Right. I was telling somebody the other day, right now in Philadelphia is something called Mainline Restaurant Week. Right. And so all of the big, nice restaurants like Davio's and, all of these other places, they are doing these prefix menus. You come and you get a meal for $30 or something.
We do that in Houston.
Mm-hmm. And people they're gonna run to these suburban restaurants to get a little $30 meal. But it's a restaurant around the corner from my house, Coach, that has been there in the community for over 20 years, owned by a Black woman. And she was recently on the news because she said since the pandemic, nobody comes in and we're getting ready to have to close. Average meal, $12.
So here's the thing though. I may even see it differently if we went to these brands and they rolled out the red carpet and they gave us this amazing experience. They following us talking about no shoplifting. I feel sorry for your mother. They acting a fool with us in these stores, and we continue to go back.
Did you see T.I.? It was 2 videos I shared with George. Recently, T.I. was in the Gucci store, and they said they didn't offer him no water, no nothing. And he was mad. He was trying to spend, $50,000, some outrageous amount of money. He leaves the Gucci store and goes to Bergdorf, Bergdorf, right? Mm-hmm. Gordon. And they give him water and champagne. and that appeases you. What is a $20 bottle of champagne, a $50 bottle of champagne when you spending 50 G's? But then there's another rapper, I forget his name. I just sent it to George the other day. He went into the Amiri store. I don't know if y'all know what Amiri is. He went into the Amiri store and spent $1 million. Coach, $1 million. You know what they gave him as an add-on? A t-shirt. So I looked it up. I said, George, let's look and see what's the average cost of a t-shirt in one of these stores. $300. He just spent $1 million. If somebody came and spent $1 million with you, Coach, how much added bonuses you finna?
Man, you ain't gonna spend but $10,000 with me, and you gonna get $5,000 worth of extra stuff, if not more. If you don't get your 10 back and then some. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we've gotta stop following. Man, I don't know, man. Let me tell you, that's why I don't even look at celebrities, because they're not living how I'm living, and they're not my example. They're not. Half of them don't even have generational wealth for their children. And if they do, it ain't set up right. You know, we're talking about exclude the billionaires, the Kanyes, the Jay-Z's, and the Beyoncés. The rest of those rappers in and out. But I ain't mad at them, because we have just as much capacity to make revenue as they do. Will we do the work? So if you're ready to connect and collaborate, make sure you go to bit.ly/I-got-swag 2022. But this masterclass that's happening on Monday, it's a no miss event. Make sure you go to www.dollarsprofitsandwealth.com. And that's absolutely right, Gertrude. We got to stop following foolishness. It's time for us to start elevating our thought leaders and elevating the people that are going to help us move the needle and close this generational gap. And this whole wealth thing we're going through, and helping us learn how to negotiate our pay and protect our revenue and leave something different to our children. We need to stop glorifying the foolishness. I'm not impressed you spend $1 million in a retail store that you don't own, that nobody that looks like you owns, the money that will never walk around in your community, the money that you'll never see again. And if you needed to return some stuff tomorrow, you're going to be on the news because they're going to act a fool on you. I'm not impressed.
Oh, but we, and I say we, meaning as a culture, you know, so many people are impressed by this. When I look at some of the violence that happens, and not just in Philly, but in big cities like Chicago, and you know, it's so much fueled by our desire to impress as opposed to invest, right? To create real wealth. And when you compare, like you said, the Jay-Z's, the Beyoncés, but not just them, the white counterparts, the billionaires, when you see them, you don't see them with the same level of flashiness or concern about appearance that we have. And it's because we have been taught to look the part.
Our wealth.
And this is the difference with businesses, even on social media, right? Because a lot of times y'all go after people who look like they got something going on. Whole time they invested all of their time, effort, and energy in the appearance of success, but they don't have any of the things in place to really serve you, any of the things in place to really help you grow. And you know, I had a call with somebody recently, told me she I'm not going to say the person's name, but she invested $4,000 in a celebrity's business coaching certification, and she was like, I still don't even know what I got from that class, but yet and still was on my line like, can I get a payment plan for a $500 strategy session? And so we really have to examine our choices and examine, you know, how we spend our money. And am I spending my money, because money is energy, right? Am I spending my money? Am I spending my energy on things that are going to bring me back good energy? Or am I wasting it? Am I wasting my time? Am I because every dollar that you spend is really connected to some time. You had to earn it, right? Whether you work a 9 to 5 or something else. A friend of mine told me when you go into these stores and you start making purchases, you really need to start and stop comparing the dollar amount, stop looking at the dollar price and start looking at how long you had to work to do that. So let's say something is $1,000 and you only make $10 an hour. That was 100 hours of your life to be able to get this $1,000 product. Is it worth it? And is
But
it
then when I say my class is $1,000, you want to ooh and ah, but that class has the potential to give you $10,000 back compounded annually or more for the rest of your life. We got to do better, y'all. We got to do better. And I've always said you ain't got to get it from me, but you better get it from somewhere. Because if you don't have an understanding of money, you will continue to understand that you don't have money. The Bible says, in all of your getting, get an understanding. And we don't have an understanding of what money really is, what generational wealth really is, what it really takes to change the trajectory of this generation and the next one. I told them this morning, we ought to be ashamed. Never, ever, ever have we had more tools. Never have we had more technology. Never have we had more access, more freedom. But guess what? What are we doing with it? You got more access to technology on your phone than my mother had at NASA. Am I lying?
You telling the truth, Coach?
Man, in my mother's generation, they had to have a whole room
full of computers.
The size of my great room, full of computers
to calculate.
And we got all this access, and we have the nerve to say we're scared. We have the audacity to say we can't afford. We should be ashamed at the debt we're living in, because my grandmother didn't live. You could say whatever you wanted to say about my grandmother and how she scrapped and scraped, about how we ate leftovers, about how we wore hand-me-downs, but she owed nobody. And when she died, she didn't owe nobody. And she lived her life that if she had to get something from somebody on credit, when she got paid or Big Daddy got paid on Friday, they got their money back immediately. All this whole credit we working with, man, they wasn't doing all that back then. If you didn't have the money for it, you set your ass down somewhere and you ain't get it. We putting groceries on credit card, y'all. We didn't eat out. You know why we didn't eat out? We didn't eat out because we couldn't afford it. We ate out twice a year. Let me tell you. Once a year, McDonald's would put their regular hamburgers on sale for like 10 cents in honor of their 100th anniversary or something. And she would go get a bag of burgers, no cheese, no fries. They would cook the potatoes at home, no cheese, and that's what we ate. That was once we ate out. The second time, there was a burger place in town called Jim's. I remember being 9 years old and picking up trash all day, because every bag of trash you brought, they would give you a coupon for a burger, a fry, or a drink. So 3 bags of trash. I remember being in Jim's, and it was the first time I had literally ever sat down inside of a restaurant to eat at 9 years old.
Wow.
If we didn't have it, we didn't get it. And we was okay without it. We was fine. I don't have no bad memories. I don't have no memories of being hungry. I don't have no memories of feeling bad because somebody had more than me. For the most part, we was all broke as hell. Across the board. You know, the person next to you, we had a couple of people that didn't wear hand-me-down, but for the most part, You could see everybody hemline had dropped in their pants.
Mhm.
And that is shit is the style. Toe up shit. The style. Patches in your shit. The main things we struggle to get away from. These
That's
kids
the
run around
thing.
here beg. Plato's Closet. They begging to get into the resale stores.
Mhm.
Man, yeah, we got to get it together. We got to get our confidence, our self-esteem, our
Right.
sense of worth,
Right.
our sense of value as a people. We got to get all that together because a shirt can't give you that.
Right.
A purse can't give you that. Not even that Rolls Royce Ghost, as bad as it is, a car can't give you that.
That's
You got to
actually
get
right,
that
Coach.
side.
We have to learn how not to base our value in the material things that we have. And and teach our children that, because it's really, unfortunately, as good as social media is, as good as having all of this access is, when it's not used the right way. And we talked about this yesterday, when we're using it to compare ourselves to other people, when we're using it to keep up with what everybody else has going on. Unfortunately, what happens is we start to focus on the wrong things, focus on obtaining things that at the end of the day really don't have any value, right? Really don't have any meaning or long-term value for us. But our children also are chasing what they think is going to make them important. And so now we have 14 and 15-year-olds who think they need to have Balenciagas and Louis this and Gucci that, and I even down to like getting bundles in your hair and getting your nails done at 14 and 15. I couldn't do that when I was growing up. I looked like a little girl. Okay, ponytails, your natural hair, that's what you wore until you was grown. And so I 100% agree that it's definitely based in our self-worth and in our self-value. And if you work on that, you'll begin to value different things. And you won't have, see, I think a lot of times people don't like to invest in stuff like courses and coaching programs, coach, not because they don't think like, oh, the program is good, but more so they feel like it's not going to work for me. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not going to be successful if I do this. Not that the person isn't, intelligent or know what they're teaching or anything like that, but a lot of times we look at stuff and we say I can't do that. I know Danielle is teaching how to make seven figures or six figures online, but that's not something I could do. So instead of spending the money there, I'm going to go spend the money on something else with the hopes that that will make me feel better.
And it doesn't. It's short term at best.
Right.
It's short term at best, guys. And so look, we're offering an opportunity for you to do something different. Um, something impactful for yourself and for others in your family to change the way the world looks at us and our business. And it's totally up to you to get this lesson. So if you haven't already registered at www.dollarsprofitsandwealth.com, make sure you do, and make sure that um, you're in this to win it. Nobody said you have to struggle.
Right.
That's a personal choice. But part of it is aligning your mind and your money with where you really want to go. So if that's the mall, then stay at the mall. But if that's financial freedom, then make real investments in yourself, in your family, in your children. Everything ain't gonna be found on that college campus. Quit letting your children run off to school if that ain't really where they want or need to be.
Right.
It's just some things that we gotta stop listening. We listen to the same people that we listen to our oppressors, y'all. We following the instruction of the same people that held us captive. Isn't there something that just doesn't make sense about that?
Mm.
Mm,
Wow.
I don't know. So, guys, we're going to be back a little bit later tonight. I know this is hard conversation, but this is hard times. And somebody said hard times are spreading just like the blues. Watch out, homeboy. Don't let it get you. You remember that song?
I never
Hard
heard that song a
times
day in my
is
life.
spreading just like the blues. Watch out. You ain't old enough. That's an old school rap song. Gary, yes, ma'am. So when you're ready to do something different, and if you're ready to do something different,
Make sure you guys register for it's tonight, coach.
no, it's the 28th.
Oh, somebody asked what's the link again for tonight. That's
Berlin
why.
gave it to him.
Oh, okay.
It's the 28th. Be at www.dollarsprofitsandwealth.com. We're going to get out of here, but we'll see you guys a little bit later. All right. Love you guys.
Bye.